All right. Every now and then I try and throw a little tutorial out to help those up and coming producers with some techniques I learned over the years, taught myself. And these days there's software that do just about anything you can imagine. So I'm going from an old school way, but the old school way of learning something, figuring it out, and then perfecting it, and then somebody takes that idea and say, hey, we can make software out of it. The software still limits you in certain ways. You know, those of you that's not really experienced, you say, no, the software does everything. Trust me, the software still limits you a little bit. So what I'm going to do is give you an example of how I thicken up some of my drum tracks. I'm going to give you an example of how I thicken up my stereo drum track, not necessarily the individual tracks. I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of detail because I'm going to try and make it short. So let's take it like this. Let's say I already made this drum beat here. This is a beat that I made for a project. I'm working on it now. Okay, now that right there is okay, all right? But sometimes when you want to get that impact, high fidelity is not always the solution. Sometimes you just want to thicken it because our ears are analog and we listen to analog all the time. Even when you're listening to digital, it converts to analog, not just out the machine, but into your ears. So a lot of people like to say they like the old school sound or the old record sound. So let's thicken it up. Most of you guys probably already have the answer. You probably already are saying, oh, my software does that. But this right here, let's try this. And take that same beat, okay? Now, believe it or not, that's a Midi beat. I converted that to audio, so that's already downgrading it a little bit, which is what we want. Now, I take that audio, and then I would put it in the audio track right here. And what I would do is add an effect to it. It's anything to give it a little grit. So to make it more simple, let's just go with the distortion. Okay, so then we get the distortion that would sound like this. Now listen to the difference. This distortion, this is the original. Distortion. Okay, now, so let's hear that distortion a little bit again. Now, we have another option. We can take that and combine it with the original. Right here. Hold on. Right there. Now see how it's thicker versus the original. Now let's listen to it again. The original versus both of them together. Now together. Now just distortion alone isn't really going to do it because it's fattening up the track with both of them together. Now if you really want to get a little bit more wilder with it, you can take one of the tracks. I'll choose the audio track. And you can shift it just a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll shift it just a little bit. Boom. And then we got this. See how it plays with the stereo fill? You're manipulating it. Now let's just add a melody to it. Now, let's hear it with just the original with the melody. Even if I bring the melody down, Even if I pan it a little bit. Now that's fine, but let's hear it again with the modified piece. Yeah. Okay, so you got the gist of that. Now let's take that melody out. Now watch this. Now this is just on a production creative side here. Let's take that modified drum track. Right now we're gonna forget about the original because we already discussed that. But let's take that modified drum track and copy it again. Take the original drum track, copy it again, but take the distortion off. Change the EQ just a little bit, just to give a little, lower quality. But we're going to keep it clean. We just changed the EQ, so took some of the high end off the EQ. Now what we're going to do is, let's say we take 8 measures right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then that would be the one that's modified. Don't forget, these are audio tracks now, so you already got, it's already recorded with the distortion. This one will be recorded without the distortion. Now we're going to play 16 measures of the drum track, the original drum track that's been modified, without layering the original on it. See how it's changing? Then from there, it'll go back to the distortion, and then just loop it like that. All right, now with that section, and we add a melody to that, we get this. Bring it down. So anyway, just want to share that with you. This is Jaxsn Music. I hope it works out for you, and of course you can apply that to anything. The sky is the limit. Don't be lazy, because I usually don't give my techniques out because I'm still in business working to make money, and the competition is tough out there. It is. And I thank God every day that I'm able to do something musically. But I would say this: if you just put the extra effort into doing something a little more unique, even if it takes you 10 hours, you only have to do it that one time. Once you get it the way you want it, and it's recorded, and then your most effort will be just making copies of that recording, and hopefully it'll get you a job, income. All right, a paying job, that's what we want to say. All right, peace, take care, and I will try and put at least something up once a month. So visit the site. I'll probably have something linked to it, maybe a Facebook, YouTube, or something. All right, 2017. This is what's today's date? Is the 28th of December. But we're looking forward to 2017. Take care.